What's going on, team? Taking a sip of water. Just waking up, man. I don't know what happened last night. As soon as I did the isolation session, I was like, yo, I'm tired. No bullshit. I probably fell asleep at like 8:30 and I knocked out all night, bro. I'm talking about I didn't fucking wake up once. I haven't slept like that in a long time. I had an alarm for 2 a.m. I don't know what happened to the alarm because I don't remember waking up. I had an alarm for 11 p.m. Again, no clue what happened because I didn't wake up for it. So I don't know. It was kind of a weird night. I kind of died and came back. Yeah, my alarm for 6 a.m. that woke me up. I was like, yo, what happened? But hope you guys had a good night. Hope you guys are having a good morning. For those that live on the other side of the pond, I hope time is it 7 a.m. Yep. I hope you guys have has had a good morning and are having a good afternoon. Just gonna get ready till 7 a.m. and at 7 a.m. we'll go through the pairs again, go through the list, and we'll talk about what we gotta look for. Alright, bro. Hey, you did exactly what we talked about. Shit is comedy. Still not in the area where we want to start taking these trades though. So you just gotta be a little patient. And we're still stuck in this zone of consolidation that we've been in since Thursday of last week. Price rejected highs, rejected lows, went back high, rejected highs. Just consolidated there until last night, 1 a.m. Tapped those highs, yesterday's highs, and then went right back down to the bottom. Right? Didn't give us. Technically, it gave us a clean break. Technically. Of those lows, of the internal lows. And we're still trading lower low and lower high, so just gonna give everybody a few more seconds to join and then we'll move on to the next pairs. We'll get started. Any questions in the meantime, let me know. Um any questions throughout the stream, let me know. Any pairs you guys want me to look over, let me know. Damn, I didn't mean to do that. Yo, I keep fucking this up. Again, any questions at all, let me know, guys. Good morning, Mr. Bashir. Welcome to the stream, man. Any potential trade? I'm not sure. I haven't looked over the charts yet. I was waiting for you guys to join up. About to do that right now. Haven't done my breakdown for the morning just yet. But let's do it. So first thing is first, I'm gonna calculate STP for all the pairs. STP for the day is 36 pips. And we've done 40 pips already for AU. So AU is already done for the day. AU DCAD, 36 pips, same thing. Alright, we're still trading. Well, let's talk about this pair too before anything else. So 36 pips was STP. We already did 40. Right, so AUD CAD, we were also looking at this just for a pullback, right? But again, we understood that these pullback and these entries here, these points of interest that we had on the 4-hour time frame, right? After price gave us a break of these lows, we understood that these entries here are low probability going short because on the daily time frame, this is not a valid lower low. We never had a break of structure, so we can't say that this is a lower low and a lower high. Again, same example we were giving since, you know, again, we've talked about these entries since what day was this? April, beginning of April, right? The same reason why we couldn't continue to look for shorts here is the same reason why we couldn't continue to look for shorts here. The same reason why we couldn't continue to wait for shorts here is the exact same reason why we couldn't continue to wait for shorts here in this entire area, right? Here, here. Same thing why we could not look for entries here, right? It's all the same thing, right? The market is going to be doing the same thing every single time, right? And it's our job to just wait for our confirmations. So again, AU, since it didn't give us a break of the low of consolidation, we know it's going to go right back to the top, right? And if it doesn't go all the way to the top side, cool. What are we looking for? We're just going to be looking for the pullbacks. And again, we already knew this was our first point of interest. If it works out, perfect. We'll take the continuations. We'll wait for our entries. We'll start getting in here, 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 all the way to here. If price breaks, boom, we'll get in here as well. Right? And we just have to wait for those confirmations up here. So it's really that, you know, again, I'm not going to say the word simple because it is a little bit to look at, but you're just putting all the pieces of the puzzle together. Right? And again, if you didn't wait for your entry confirmations and you got in as soon as price gave you the retest of this engulfing candle, you know, you thought you were going to be straight into profit during the Asia session, and then boop, 2 candlesticks hit you right back out, hit your stop loss, or it hit your break even if you moved to profit. So would have been a good one, but if we would have had our confirmations, would have been so much better. Would have been an 8 pip stop loss, you know, and then for whatever STP was, 40 pips. So AUD CAD's done. Alright, so let's go through these quick now. So EA, we could already see STP's already done. Right, price already almost hit ADR and then came back to the top side. And no continuations. I'm still looking for a break, or we're looking for the inducement of the inducement of the lows to then continue the push to the top side, right? And that's exactly what price gave you. It gave you the inducement. If you were trading this during the end of Asia, going into London session, or not even, it was just literally just Asia session. Let's see if we would have had an entry. I already seen in the 5-minute we have a potential engulfing candle, but I don't think price gave us a retest, which was here. Right, red, red, green, but price never gave us a retest of the lows. Right, so that would have been a missed one right there. But internal, let's go to the 1-minute. Before that engulfing candle, we had exactly change of character, break of structure. Right, you had lower low, boom, change of character. Higher low, boom, break of structure. Right, where the breaks, right? The breaks happened here. So definitely gave us the entry in the 1 minute time frame. So this would have been a 1 a.m. a 1 a.m. entry. Right, so EA, if you took EA, beautiful. Right, again, this did exactly what we talked about yesterday. There's only two potential entries I'm looking for here. Either the inducement of the lows, right? The inducement of the lows to then continue the push back to the top side, or we're going to be looking for price to break the lows to then just continue to give us a steeper pullback. So EA is looking good for the rest of the week. Again, only thing I want to keep an eye on is these gaps at the bottom. You know, could price continue to give us a pullback? Of course, because again, we're still trading higher high, higher low, higher high, right? So just be careful with that. ECAD was off. Why was ECAD off? Oh, we're still in a zone consolidation. We're in the middle, just moving sideways. That's why we talked about this yesterday. We had the change of character without a valid break. After the change, price just consolidated. So ECAD will wait for the BOS. EU, and crazy exhaustion candle at 3 a.m. London session cheese, man. Alright, Euro USD. Any questions, guys, just let me know. 88 minus 33% is 58 pips. 58 pips is STP for the day. And we've done 62 pips, so EU's already done. Still trading higher high, higher low, but price failed to give us a real break of the high. So the entry I'm trying to look for is the same one from EA. I want price to give us either an inducement of the low, right, to then continue, or I'll be looking for price to just give us a break of the highs to continue. Anything before that, I'm not messing with that. GA already hit STP and ADR, right? Already went to the low of ADR. Still trading between the change of character, lower low. Let's change that to red. Right, and we're sitting in the engulfing candle in the daily time frame, which is good. But again, the good thing about this pair is we're still in an uptrend. We have no gaps in the market. We're still sitting where we want to be at, right? However, the only thing bad about it is the fact that we already hit the previous peak high. So technically, I'm not really looking for price to continue these pushes to the top side, right? We're sitting at a higher high. In the higher high, price just decided to consolidate, and we've been consolidating since April, right? So just been moving sideways the entire time, trapping traders, inducing traders, making them believe this is where price is going to go short, then going long, right? Making them believe that this is where price is going to continue higher high, higher low after it induced the lows. And what did it start doing? Lower lows and lower highs and hitting your stop loss, right? So it's really trapping traders on the lower time frame, because if you're looking at this in the higher time frame, well, you already know where we're at. We're at a higher high. We're just moving sideways. Right? If you look at the higher time frames. Now, if you're stuck in the 30-minute, right, or you're stuck in the 15-minute time frame, which a lot of you guys trade the 15-minute for some reason, you'll be trapped, right? You'll think that this is where you'll continue to see higher high, higher low, and then price will start giving you lower lows and lower highs, right? So you have to be able to see this on both sides. So at this point, I'm not really at this point. Obviously, ADR is already hit. I'm not going to be trading this. Now for the entries on this, the potential entries, even in these areas, I personally wouldn't wait, or I wouldn't really enter here on the engulfing candle unless I have another confirmation. At this point, it would make sense to just give it a few hours, because we already have 2 days of drop, today being the third day. If price finishes on a drop no net or a drop rise, then there's a potential that tomorrow price is going to go back down, right? We'll have that 4th day push. So we don't want to be too early on the trade. What time frame do you trade? 30-minute. So all my entries are taken I'll say 98% of my trades are taken on the 30 minute. But I do sometimes trade on the 5 minute, the 1 minute, depending on the entry model. So if you were here for the example of EA, the trade on EA that we would have taken at 1 in the morning here after the inducement, this trade model here is the 1 minute, 5 minute time frame. But for a trade, let's see, what other pair could I give you? Right, a pair like right now on GA, we'd be looking for an entry on the 30 minute. So to actively take trades, 98% to round out the answer, right? 98% of the trades are taken on the 30 minute. About 2% are taken on the internal time frames, the 5 minute, 1 minute time frame. But I use the higher time frames, daily time frame, 4-hour time frame, to look at market structure, pretty much. Damn, bro, we're not gonna have any fucking trades left for the day. So, to finish out with GA, we just have to wait, right? I don't want to get into the trade too early, because then we could get trapped into another push going into tomorrow. So at around 3, right, 2, 3, 4 p.m. before the market closes, if price is at a good low somewhere, if price is still within this area here in this box, then we could potentially start looking for entries to go back to the top side, right? Because after 3 days of drop, after a 3-day continuation, you know that the next day, which is going to be tomorrow, price is either going to go up or is going to move sideways. And at this point, I am expecting price to push to the top side. But we'll just have to wait it out. I'll have to be pretty patient with GA. Sitting in these peak high territories is not the best spot to look for a trade. GCAD, we already saw that we're still in an uptrend, right? Overall, GCAD on the daily time frame, we're still in an uptrend. Still sitting at the higher highs, very similar to GA. No gaps in the market, which is good, right? And also the biggest difference with GCAD compared to GA is we haven't reached the previous peak high just yet. So we still have a little bit to go. GCAD could continue this push to the top side, but again, it's all traded the same way. We're looking for the same thing. In order for us to look for trades going long, we need to see the continuations. And right now, what is price doing? Higher time frame is uptrending, but the lower time frame, again, the 30-minute time frame, we're still making lower low, lower high, and we can see that price consolidated and came back down to the lows, right? STP for the day's already hit, ADR for the day's already hit. There's nothing left on for the table. Nothing left on the table for us. GJ ADR is already hit as well. Man, what the hell happened? That's crazy. Like, yo, I'm over here thinking like I was gonna be able to sleep all night. I was so excited about my sleep. Man, there's no news today. There's no news today. And then nope. Even with low impact news, the fucking market wants to move crazy. Like, yo, what the fuck, man? So GJ's done. Is there anything left? Like, I'm like nothing left on GU. ADR's already hit. NZD USD is just consolidating. US 30, we still got a little bit left. Okay, cool. USD CAD. I'm not trading USD CAD in these areas. We'll keep an eye on it. We'll see what we could. We'll break down USD CAD. USD ZAR, I'm definitely not trading USD ZAR. Gold. Okay, cool. Potentially still. Damn, gold moved. As soon as I finished the session, I did a little bit of a deeper breakdown on this, and I'm like, all right, perfect. This looks good. You know, I'd want to see price kind of stay in these areas to see if price wants to fill these gaps at the bottom, right? But nah, price failed to break the lows. It failed to give us a valid break of the lows. It just tested these lows and then turned around at 1 a.m. And last night would have been a fucking good night to wake up, huh? I'm like, yo, there's no news. We're gonna have a great Tuesday during the NYC session. Fucking no. I should have woken my ass up. Nah, even if I would have woken up, because I wake up at 2 a.m. when I trade London. So I would have missed the move. I would have woken up already and price would have been up here. Price started moving at 11 p.m. Literally 11 to 12 a.m. last night. So I wouldn't have even caught these moves. All these moves were like that, even the other trades. Entries were given really early last night. What's your strategy? I pretty much trade the markets. There's not like a one-way answer to that. The easiest, what I always explain to people, um, overall, I guess we could say is the market maker's pattern. That's what it's called. Um, but we connect it with everything, right? So we have um, market structure is really the best way to, because there's not like how all these other people SMCs and order blocks and all this other weird shit. Like now there's candlestick analysis, there's market structure. The overall movements, like where we're at, if we're in an overall uptrend or downtrend, that's the market maker's pattern or market maker's method, whatever. They have two different names for that. That's pretty much what it is. I like to just say I trade the markets because the deep dive into this. Checking gold, yeah, gold. We just checked it just now. Always moving, yeah, that is true. The good thing with gold is that it moves a lot. Like it's a pair that moves 600 pips a day. So you're gonna have a chance to catch this. Like it's very rarely that you'll wake up and STP or ADR is already hit for gold. It's very rare. Um, you know, on a news day or on a day where there's news during Asia or London, you see it. Like yeah, it does hit ADR and STP, and then by the time we wake up or by the time NYC session comes by, it doesn't really do anything else. There's nothing left on the table. But, same thing for this day. It gave us a little bit more of a push, just that one candlestick, which is not bad. But usually, gold is a really good trade or a really good pair to move, or really good pair to trade. Um, but I always say this too, like as beginner traders, I don't recommend beginner traders to look at anything like gold or US 30 or Bitcoin or oil or any of the big pairs, GBP, JPY. Like I don't recommend beginner traders to look at these type of pairs, but that's just my opinion. Um, so with gold, what I wanted to see with gold again, market structure on the 30-minute, we're in a big move. So we know that we're trading between these 30-minute lows over here and these 30-minute highs, right? Again, just market structure. You had higher high, higher low, lower high, lower low, higher high, and then price came down and gave you lower low, right? After price gave us this lower high, nothing broke these highs, gave us a lower low, nothing broke these lows. All of this internal move is just that. It's just internal time frame movement, right? So when it comes down to the structure, we're still trading in a lower high. We're still in a downtrend on the 30-minute, right? And this is what we have here, right? 30-minute is down, the 4 hours is down, and the daily time frame is uptrending. And we also have what we'll use as confluence, the gaps in the market, right? But in this case, we still have gaps at the top. Yeah, we still have gaps at the bottom, but we can still see how price is rejecting these lows. So, um, yeah, good pair but dangerous. Yeah, that's why I always say like this is a pair you have to graduate to, right? Very similar. Like I'll say the same thing about Bitcoin and US 30 and GBP, JPY. Like any of the pairs, if you notice, like this is what we have the ADR for. I don't know if you've been noticing. I've been doing like the STP, which is a save take profit. The ADR is the average daily range, right? On average, how many pips a certain pair is gonna move on a day-to-day basis. Um, this is a pair that has a good amount of pips, but any pairs that move over 120 pips, I always tell people stay away from it. Because if you can't read simple market structure on a pair like Euro USD or AUD USD, pairs that move 50, 40, 60 pips a day, how do you think you're going to see it on a pair like gold that moves 601 pips a day, right? How do you think you're going to see it on a pair like US 30 that moves 551 pips a day, right? You won't be able to. So, And we're not even talking about the fake outs that these specific pairs do, right? Because in these last couple of days, these last couple of weeks on gold, right? Since we're just talking about gold, you know, how many fake outs do we see? Right? How many fake outs do we see on every single time session? So with gold right now, let's do the first thing, which is STP 601 minus 33%. It is 402. Right, and we've already done 396 pips. So we're still in the game when it comes to that. But where are we gonna go? Price is just gonna continue this push to the top side, right? I'd love to have given those confirmations for these shorts, man. That would have been great to then just continue, right? And then price will have to update this. It did not give us a type 2 pattern. It gave us a type 1 pattern. During Asia session, I was like so convinced. I'm like, man, this is gonna be a great day to trade these shorts to just at least fill these gaps. Same shit that happened yesterday. I'm like, there's no way they'll do it to us 2 days in a row, right? But again, it's all good. We know we got these gaps at the top, so as soon as price turns around and starts giving us higher highs and higher lows, we'll start trading those pushes back to the top side. But at this point, I'm just gonna wait it out. We'll come back to gold. Bitcoin is just still consolidating in these highs. Not expecting price to give us another push to the top side today. At least looking for a pullback. But we'll see. You know, Bitcoin has a mind of its own sometimes. And then last pair on our list, oil. 3 days of rise. After 3 days, looking for price to either move sideways or go down. Let's do a little top-down analysis. Still in a downtrend. We're still in the second push. Price gave us a lower low, and now we're looking for a pullback into the lower high. So we already know what we're targeting on oil. We gotta wait for price to give us that lower high, and then we'll start looking for those downtrend pushes back to the bottom side. Price gave us higher high, higher low, and these are still our higher highs. So our higher low is gonna be these lows down here. And these higher highs here. So we'll keep an eye on oil. So these are really the only trades we have left for the day. Only pairs we have left for the day. Let's see, NZD, USD. What are we doing? We're in an overall downtrend. We still have that gap at the top of the market, and price is still giving us higher highs and higher lows. So not going to be trading NU until we fill that gap here at the top. US 30, let's get this chart ready. Did we do this already on this pair? 551 minus 33 is 369. 369. Still missing a good amount. Just these lows again. What I always hate trading, and I always say this, I do not like trading zones of consolidation. I fucking despise it. So yeah, Mr. Bashir, to answer your question from earlier, man, I don't think we have anything left for the day, man. Oh man. Yeah. USD CAD again. We're trading. Still trying to see where price is gonna give us this higher low. Is price gonna give us a set higher low? Right, to then continue back to the top side, or are we just going to continue this lower low and lower high internal time frame trend that we see, right? Because even on the 30-minute, we're still trading lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, right? I'm not going to say that this is lower low, lower high, lower low, higher high, higher low, higher high, right? That's just too close of, this pair's been moving a lot, so I want to give myself enough room for error, right? If we say that this is lower low, lower high, lower low, even though price never gave us a valid break of these lows for this to be considered a lower low, right? Then this means that we're already going to be looking for price to give us that change of character and the break, and we got the break already. So this would mean that this is where we would want to start looking for trades, right? Going long, somewhere in this area. Right? And again, what I'm not convinced about is just higher time frame, right? We're still trading lower low and lower high. So if price wants to, definitely could continue. It could go at least a little lower. I am expecting price to, if it does continue this push down to the bottom, I'm expecting it to at least reach the 800 EMA, right? At most, or at least, I guess you could say. Um, but let's see if there's anything else. Like aside from that, even if we use like the EMAs for confluence, like, yeah, I like that the 50 cross above the 200. We're still technically in peak high level 3. Still be looking for price bounce off the 50 EMA. So, again, even if we use our EMAs as confluence, like, okay, cool, we're in these areas, but look how price is reacting. Market structure on the lower time frame, we went from higher highs and higher lows to all of a sudden, within a whole hour and a half, price decides to just melt and just mess up the entire structure the entire time. Right? So we see that a lot better on the 1 minute. We went from higher highs and higher lows to all of a sudden straight down to the bottom side, still making lower lows and lower highs. So even if we were to look for an entry, we would want to wait for price to turn around 5 minute or the 1 minute time frame, start giving us higher highs and higher lows. But again, we can see how market makers are just trapping traders. Once again, the reason I would not say that this is a valid change and BOS for that shift so we can start looking for those trades going back up is because price never gave us a valid break of these lows. All of these candles here are still testing. So this is not really lower low, lower high, lower low. This is all part of the same trend. We went lower low, lower high, all of this part of the same trend, lower low, and this is technically the lower high. Right? So why would I want to start looking for trades going long when price is still giving us lower low, lower high? Right? I hope that makes sense. So we'll keep it on. Again, we'll see what price does. We'll keep USD CAD on for a little bit. Gold. How many pips we did already? We done 400 already. Out of 402, this is pretty much done already. I'm not gonna keep messing with gold. It's pretty much done for the day. And that's the craziest thing right now too, is that usually these pairs, so the correlation. Oh, a second, I'm sorry. The correlation between these pairs are opposite, meaning USD, like the pairs I'm talking about, US30, USD CAD, gold, right? You could put Bitcoin in there too. Usually Bitcoin and US30 follow each other, right? We know that. USD CAD moves opposite of US30, and USD CAD and gold kind of follow each other. So, with that being said, the fact that all of these pairs right now are just kind of moving similarly is not good. Like, it's not good at all. Right? The only one that's out of service is gold. Or the only one that looks like it's in service because it's moving is gold. The other ones are just, right, gold and Bitcoin. But once again, like, you could even see it on the chart. The times that BTC was trending to the top side, right, gold started falling. And then now that gold is going back to the top side, right, the times that gold has been going back to the top side, Bitcoin gave us a little pullback, but now we're getting these pushes to the top side. You know, again, we still know that we have a third month push to the top side for BTC. So we know that price is going to reach those tops. So what I'm just trying to see on gold is, okay, we know that on the 5-minute we could do two things on the chart right now. We know that we're trading between this change of character, lower low. So let's update our charts. Right, oh man. Right, we're trading between this low and this high in the 5-minute. Did we get a valid break? We did on the 5-minute. Damn. Alright. We got a valid break. We got another change. So yeah, man, gold looks like it wants to continue the push to the top side. I was hoping it would be like a testing candle, and we could be like, yo, you know what? You know, we had a drop rise. You know, we fucking still got this gap. We'll potentially be looking for those inducement of the highs to go short, but no, we got valid breaks. Any questions, guys? Any pairs you guys want me to go over in specific? Let me know. Pretty much the pairs we look at, pretty much all the pairs on our list moved. They kind of already did what they had to do for the day. I'm not really looking for anything crazy to happen anymore for the rest of the day, but oil is just still pushing up to the top side, so it's just gonna be a waiting game, guys. We'll wait till I guess 9:30. But as of right now, I'm not really looking for any entries. Like exactly what I was saying about USD CAD, right? Like this is just not a strong area to take these trades. Again, it's all because of market structure. Like if we didn't know market structure, then you know we'd be fucking faked out and we'd think, oh, double bottom, the neckline, the break, the retest, get in. But it's like, nah, man. Like all of this is just fake news. All of this is just internal time frame, just noise on the charts, right? This is the fake outs. This is where all the traders get faked out in. So this is the reason why even like again, you guys saw how I was already treating this pair. Like I know I'm not looking for entries anymore here. I already know how they're just trying to trap us. We see it. Lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. Why am I taking buys at a lower high? It just doesn't make any sense to me. Like if I tell you look for buys, you're looking for uptrends. Okay, cool. Are you uptrending? No, you're still downtrending. You're still making lower low and lower high. Like I don't understand how we're looking for buys when we're clearly still in a downtrend, right? So, and again, we could see that. Like, if we didn't know market structure, we would have been in a trade and we would be in drawdown right now. Our stop loss would have been hit already. But yeah, man. So, the fact that that USD CAD is going down tells me 30 is gonna go up, right? And but again, if 30 goes up, I'm not expecting gold to go up. I'm expecting gold to go down. Expecting Bitcoin to go up. So again, even like I said, the correlation between the pairs, they don't make sense right now. They're not following what they're supposed to be doing. Right? GU, you know, it's crazy how much is pushed down. Like these USD pairs on a day where there's no fucking news. So yeah, like I can't even, again, the fact that I can't use other pairs as correlation to kind of gauge what it is that we're looking at too is kind of incredible, bro. I'm not gonna lie. But it's all good. We just gotta be patient. Like a lot of these pairs are just consolidating, just moving sideways, doing some crazy moves. Again, US 30, we've been doing that for the last day and a half, just moving sideways, rejecting highs and rejecting lows the entire time. You know, pushing down to the bottom, giving you exhaustion candles. So internal time frame, can't even say we have structure on the internal time frame because we can see the zones of consolidation more. Yeah, no. We're literally still trading between this high over here and then this higher low. Everything else is just once we made this higher high, price just started moving sideways. There's no structure and there's no structure in this right now. You know, could we get away with trading this in the internal time frame and, you know, say, oh, lower low, lower high, lower low. This is what we're gonna be seeing price turn around. We break these highs over here, but we could even see on the 5 minute we had a fake bearish engulfing candle, right? Price made you believe you're gonna be straight in profit, and then came up and tapped your stop losses. So a lot of people are also trading this as a flip zone. Once price breaks these highs, once we get that candle closure, wait for the retest to continue that push to the top side. There's a lot of different ways people are trading this. And then again, overall, the reason I'm not really interested in that at this moment until we get a valid break of these highs is because what are we trading? Lower low, lower high, lower low, right? Price could give you an inducement of the highs, make you believe we're gonna go up, right? And after the inducement, we go short. The same shit that EA did today for the traders, right? The same thing. Give you an inducement of the low, and as soon as it gives you the inducement of the low, you start looking for those internal higher highs, or yeah, in this case, higher highs and higher lows to continue the push to the top side. It's the same thing with US 30, but instead of the uptrend, is a downtrend, right? We're looking to see if price wants to give us an inducement of the high. After the inducement of the high is made, which we can see we're sitting on, right? We want to start looking for lower lows and lower highs. Have we started making lower lows and lower highs? No. Again, on the internal time frame, it might look like it because you had higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, right? Higher high, and then price started giving you lower lows and lower highs. So just gotta be patient in these areas. Like there's really no pairs right now that we could sit here and be like, yo, you know what? This looks good. Let's trade it. There's nothing right now. None of these pairs. So you covered them all. Okay, perfect, Mr. Bashir. Dropping a question on the Discord. Do you want me to answer the question on stream, or do you want me to just answer it in the Discord? You said last night I saw this candle and I thought it would be a bearish engulfing with Australian USD. You were in the 15-minute time frame. And then, okay, I see what you're saying. Green, green, red. So let's talk about it. Right. Well, the first thing is first, right? The reason why is not even a valid engulfing, right? It's because the second green candle didn't close above the first green candle's wick. So remember, you have to see, for example, on a bearish engulfing, right? You have green, right? You have the wick, top and bottom wick. You have another green candle, top and bottom wick, right? And then you have the red candle. And again, top and bottom wick. If the second green candle doesn't close above the first green candle's wick, meaning again, if there's a green candle, wick, wick, right? There's a green candle, wick, wick, and then there's a red candle, right? What's the difference between this one that we just drew and this one, right? This one, the second green candle did not close above the wick, and this one did. So if you don't have that wick closure, if you don't have that body closure above the wick, this is the reason why it's not a valid engulfing. The second reason why it's not a valid engulfing, again with the wicks, that red candle, the bearish candle, doesn't have a top wick. So this is not a valid engulfing candle. And again, the reason why is because the green candle did not close above the first green candle's wick, and the red candle, the bearish candle, does not have a top wick. On stream, okay, yeah. So that's the reason why it's not a valid engulfing candle. But I see what you said. I didn't take the trade waiting for a retest until I realized it's not valid. Yep. But that's exactly what it is. Like, again, if you don't know the rules for the engulfing candle, right, you got the retest here, you would have probably gotten into the trade, and then it went straight to stop loss. So that's the reason why. But I hope that makes sense, Mr. Bashir. Let me know if you need me to explain something else. Adding this to my journal. Yes, sir. Yeah, we have the. I've shown the drawings before. Pause the stream. Take a screenshot. Draw this out. Have this on your whiteboard if you have a whiteboard. If you don't have a whiteboard, if you have a wall, put tape on it. Glue it to the wall. Whatever you want to do. Make sure you draw this out. Have it in front of you. Right. I didn't start taking trading serious till 2021-ish. Right. But again, I've been on the charts and learning since 2017, 2018. And to this day, I still have the same drawings from the first times. I still have my candlesticks, my candlestick analysis on my whiteboard. I still have the market makers pattern on the whiteboard. I still got the engulfing candles. I got the type 1, type 2, type 3 patterns on the whiteboard. Everything. I have the formula how to calculate STP. All of these drawings, I still have it, and I still have it on my whiteboard. Almost 10 years in, so make sure you guys have sticky notes, have your notes down, your rules down, what you're looking for. You have that shit written down in front of you every single day until you know your rules like it's your name. So, thanks for now. I need to digest back to this now with a few streams I need to rewatch. Yeah, we talk about that in Golf and Candle. Recently, we haven't talked about it just because we haven't really done these long streams. There hasn't really been any trades. But for the most part, yeah, like a lot of the past streams that we've done, you'll see that we talk about that, and I bring up that post as well. I've been bringing up that picture for months now, probably like a whole year. Sure, print and frame, nah, but I'm being so serious. I'm being so serious. Is the only way. Is the only way for you to see that visibly every single day. Right? The more you see it, the easier it is to remember, right? And memorize, because it's not only about remembering, it's memorizing it, knowing it like it's the back of your hand. Again, if I ask you a question about trading, if you can't answer it in the same speed that you could answer what your name is, then you don't know it yet. You don't know the information yet. 2 times 2, what is it? 4. Boom. How fast you could do that is the same way if I ask you to draw an engulfing candle. I need you to know how to draw that. If I tell you to draw the market maker's pattern, I need you to be able to draw that. I need you to be able to see it on the chart. If you don't know how to see it on the chart as soon as you hop onto the chart, then you still have a lot of work to do. And again, it gets a lot easier if you have everything drawn out in front of you. If you have everything written out in front of you in your trading journal, you have your rules, you have what you're looking for, you have your drawings. What candlesticks are you looking for? Engulfing candles, exhaustion candles, right? What are you looking for? So much easier in the process if you have everything written out in front of you. Right? What EMA do you want to see? An uptrend. Right? On a downtrend, what do you want to see on level 1? Same thing for level 2, same thing for level 3. Right? What EMAs have to cross in level 1 and in level 2 and in level 3? Right? Are you looking for a break of structure of the highs or a break of the lows? Is it consolidating or are you trending? There's a lot of questions you have to ask yourself. Right? And if you can't remember and memorize what those questions are on a day-to-day basis, you're going to mess up. That one question that you miss, that one thing you forget to check, is gonna mess up your trading. Right? What's ADR? What's STP? What's the formula for STP? How do you get STP from ADR? oh, ADR is 500, but you said STP is 300. What's STP? What does it do? There's a lot of questions, right? Why is STP what you have it, right? What time sessions, what trading sessions do you trade on? Why do you use it? There's a lot of questions. It's a whole bunch of questions. Don't bro, I'm dead serious. Learning with pleasure. Because you know how to teach and you're creating a monster here. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Nah, and you're doing it good, Mr. Bashir. You've been in these streams for what, like 2 months now? Almost 3 months? Or probably a little bit longer now. I feel like you've been in here for a little bit now. And you're always asking questions. I know you're always writing notes down, so that's the best way to that's really the best way to learn. That's the best way to get through this. Like even BTC gave us a beautiful bullish candle here. But now what makes this not valid? For me, what makes this not valid is the fact that we're still trading in the daily higher high, which is again the gray box, right? And we still don't have a valid break of these highs just yet. We're still testing. We're still just testing these highs. So the fact that we don't have a valid break is the reason why I'm not even interested in trading this. We can't. We don't have a valid break of these highs just yet. Right? So that's the shit. That's the thing with this pair is like right now is we're not in a good area to just take a trade. Right? Without a valid break, price isn't just gonna fly through it. Right? Very similar, like I said, like we'll just compare it to GU, we'll compare it to EU. Like, is the same reason why, if we notice it, right, is the same reason why this higher high, higher low didn't work out. Because we don't have a valid break. It was just one candle, it was just one testing candle. Right? Is the same reason why for EU. The same reason why this didn't work out. Right? Higher high, higher low, higher high. This is not a valid break. This is not a valid higher high. So we cannot say that price is gonna give us this continuation. Price didn't give us this continuation because price just did not give us a valid break. And now price is consolidating. So this is where price is going to give us that is going to answer the question, what are we looking for? We're looking for price to break these highs to then continue back to the top. And it's going to be the same thing. I'm going to have to be looking for price to give us a break of these highs. The same thing that we've been, like, literally we have this drawn out on the chart already. You can see what I'm talking about. Right? We're either going to be looking for price to break these highs to then continue, or we're going to be looking for price to give us the inducement of the low to then continue. The same thing that happened with EA. So it's just certain things on the charts right now that just don't make sense, right? But not only does it not make sense, but we could see how all of these charts are just moving very similarly, right? So the same rules that I was looking for on EU is the same rules that I'm looking for on GU, is the same rules that I'm looking for on BTC. The fact that price did not give us a valid break of the daily time frame high is the reason why I'm not even interested to say, oh, this is going to be a higher low. We'll continue to push to the top side, right? Or even saying, oh, this is going to be a nice engulfing candle retest to continue to push to the top side. Because I don't believe that that's going to be the good entry for this. I am long on BTC since yesterday with TP at 11,200. 112. Okay. 112. Yeah, I mean that's a big area. But holding it because at 112 I'm passing a challenge. Now I'm getting confused to close the trade, continue to hold it. Nah, man, follow your rules. Follow your rules. Again, depending on where your entry is, we could just be looking for a pullback. Um End of the day, what I'm looking for is for this month for price to give us that valid that third push back to the top side. Now again, what I've been saying since Sunday, I'm not a big fan of this third month push because price did not give us a valid break of these highs. If price on the daily time frame, once price got to these highs, right? If price would have given me a valid break of structure here and would have given us this higher high, then yeah, we could say, oh look, we have a higher low and now we're looking for price to give us a higher high. And that's what it looks like. It looks perfect for that. But again, the only thing missing is, again, price did not give us a valid break, right? So technically, this could be just the inducements. Make you believe that this is where price is going to continue, right, to make a new high, and then it's just going to go down and hit everybody's stop loss or hit everybody's break even, and then this is where we'll start looking for another entry to continue back to the top side. But nah, bro, at the end of the day, you got to follow your rules. Like, don't get confused, follow your rules. What is it that you see, that I probably don't see? Right? My analysis is my analysis, right? My analysis, you got to treat it as just, okay, this is what he sees, what do I see? And use it for your back test. Right? What you see is just something that you could say, okay, I've seen this before, like I know it's going to continue to push to the top side. Right? Or do you see it and you don't know what it is? Realistically speaking, you just got in just to get in. Right? Like that's a good thing with trading, that there is no such thing as right or wrong. Right? It's about what you see. What are your rules? What's the reason why you got in? If you have the reason as to why you got in, then perfect. Keep doing what you know again, do what you know you're supposed to do. Anything else is just, that's it. That's one reason why I kind of I don't like when people come into the stream. I'm just gonna say this flat out. I'm just like, oh, what are we trading? It's like, what are we looking for? It's like, just because it's like, yo, if anything, you guys are supposed to come into the stream and tell me what you want me to look at and be like, yo, this is what I'm supposed to be looking at. It shouldn't be the other way. Because the whole point is to teach, right? It's to see, okay, what's the progression here, right? Could you trade by yourself? Because again, if something happens to me tomorrow and I'm no longer here, how are you gonna trade? Well, I'm not saying you specifically, just in general, right? I'm just speaking in general, right? If I'm not here and you're depending on me to start taking trades, right? What's gonna happen? So that's why I always say it, like, I'm gonna give my analysis, right? Whether or not our analysis is the same or not the same, you should always just be like, yo, you know what? I have a question. Let's go over it. This is what I see compared to what you see. This, and just keep asking questions. Just be like, okay, look, for example, on BTC, right? You said my entry was around 105. Thanks, brother. No problem, Elijah. 105. Yeah, so it's not bad. Like, you have, exactly, like, you have. This is two things that I'll say, my brother. Like, passing a challenge isn't just when could you get lucky, right? It's not about like, oh, I'm gonna pass it in one trade. Like, you're already in profit, right? You're already in profit. Let's say 4%, right? You're telling me that if price goes up just a few more pips, right, that you'll pass the challenge. Wouldn't it be smart to be like, yo, you know what? Just think about it. We already have 3 days of rise. This is why I'm saying what I'm saying. Like, we already have 3 days of rise. On the third day, we had a rise no net. Cool. After the third day rise no net, we'll have a fourth day variation. Price gave us the fourth day push. I'm not expecting price to continue the push to the top side, right? Price gave us a higher high. What are we looking for? We're looking for a higher low, right? On top of everything else, again, the daily time frame, price is still testing these highs. We don't have a valid break of these highs. What has happened every single time that price was in this area and it didn't give us a valid break? It came back down. It came back down. So are you really willing to risk losing, let's say, even 2% of the profit that you're in right now, Like, are you really risking to lose half of what you just made just to get lucky that price is gonna give you another 200, 300 pips push back to the top side? Or would it be easier and safer for you to say, yo, you know what? I'm gonna get out of this trade and I'm gonna wait for a better entry somewhere else to look for the continuation to then pass the challenge and finish the challenge, right? Because again, if price gives you a pullback, all the profit that you made, like think about it, you've already given up 800 pips. Well, not 800 pips, sorry, 80 pips. Right? 800 would have been the money value of it. Right? You already given up 80 pips. Are you willing to risk, or not even risk, but are you willing to lose another 200 pips when you could just get out of the trade now? Right? Again, for my rules, I'm not even expecting price to continue the push to the top side today. I'm expecting price to go down and give us a pullback. Right? So, but again, that's my analysis. Right? Now, what you see might be a little different. Right? What you see might be a little different. And that's okay. That's what trading is. Right? You might be right this time and I might be wrong. Sell side liquidity. Yeah, I mean, that's just pretty much what we're trading, the higher high and the higher low when you're zoomed in on the full hour, but you are looking at this like this is the 4 hour time frame. Why does your chart look so much different than mine? Oh, I'm not even on BTC. I'm bugging. I'm on gold. I'm like, yo, why does your BTC look fucking different? Hell no. Yeah, on the 4 hour you have higher high, higher low, higher high. So technically, you have your higher low here. Technically, no. This is not. What am I looking at? I'm so confused. This isn't today's chart, is it? May 30th. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. Um, sorry, I just had to find myself. So you were looking at this here. So yeah, we're trading pretty much between this low, right, and this high. Right. So again, ideally, we would want to see price give us that push to the top side. Ideally, that would be what we're looking at. Actually, I like your input, and now I know what to do. And man, look, at the end of the day, too, you could always just have your stop loss at like whatever you want to risk. Like for example, if you want to have a tighter stop loss, if you say fuck it, I want to just keep holding this pair, right? If you say that, then okay, cool. Then what would be something else that you could do, right? You have your entry down here, which is not a bad entry. Obviously, it's a really good fucking entry. Right? You said you have your entry at one. You said your entry was like 105 or something. 105, yeah, 105 700. So let's just put it in perspective, right? You have your trade here, right? Boom, beautiful stop loss in this trade. Boom, right? You're already up a 1 to 14, right? You're really about to fucking risk, like you're already back down at a 1 to 11. So let's say you put your stop loss just down in this area, 1 to 8, lose 50. You're literally losing 50% of your profits here. But fuck it, right? If you want to put your trailing stop loss, like that's it, right? Just at this point, you're trading risk free, right? Even if you want to have a tighter stop loss, like if you really want to play this out and be like, well, you have an engulfing candle here, you already know that price is not going to give you that push to the top side if price breaks below the engulfing candle. So if you even want to have it below the green candle wick, or if you want to have it below the red candle wick to have a tighter, just to cash out a little bit more in profit, instead of having to lose another 0.5% on just, oh, it's because it's a pullback, right? And then again, end of the day, what's the worst thing that happens? Well, you cash out in profit and you got to look for another entry. Like, if you can't look for another entry, if you can't do this again, then you already know your answer. Like, how are you planning to pass a challenge, right? To then get funded, and then you have to look for another trade again. And then after you take your first trade again on the funded account, you have to do it again because you have to continue to trade. So if you're not confident that you'll be able to look for another entry, then honestly, that's the first thing you gotta to figure out is why aren't you confident? Is it because of your back test? Because you don't trust your analysis? Like whatever the case is. But yeah, I'm not really looking for anything else right now. I'm kind of still kind of here just to feel the vibes. But any other questions, guys? Any other pairs you want me to look at? Anything else you guys want me to go over? Anything else you guys want me to explain? If not, I think I'm pretty much done for the day, man. I'm not really gonna be messing with these charts for the day. Yeah, I might just stay here till 9:30, 10 o'clock, but I'm not really looking at anything else right now. You too, Mr. Bashir. Thank you, my brother. No problem, Elijah. Thank you guys for being here. Again, I'll be here for a little bit. So if you guys have any other questions or anything at all, just let me know. We'll be here till like 9:30. I'll give it till 9:30, 10 o'clock. Just to see if we can catch any moves. But again, I'm not really thinking we'll see something. team. Let's take a look at this again. Still sitting at the highs for oil. BTC just sitting in this area still. US 30, same thing. We're just still in the zone of consolidation, just still moving sideways, man. EU still in the zone of consolidation. Again, we could see reject highs, rejecting highs again. Crazy how different again, like pairs that usually move very similarly all of a sudden are moving fucking completely opposite of what they're supposed to be doing. Right, USD CAD. If you're one of the traders thinking that this is where price is going to turn around and go long, straight to stop loss. Or straight to stop loss. Then guys, any questions, let me know. Any any other pairs you guys want me to go over, just let me know. Any entries you guys want me to explain or talk about, let me know. If not, we'll just pretty much be sitting here till 9:30. I'm pretty much just gonna give it till the NYC Open, and then we'll see if we could catch anything. But at this point, I'm not really looking for any trades. I gotta go get my charger too. You know what's crazy? I also had a wall charger, and I don't know where I put the block. Is it 9:30 yet? Alright, yo, let's look at these charts again. Alright, so 9:30. At this point, right, STP for gold has been hit already. Right, so we'll skip gold for now. Let's just keep an eye on BTC and US30. Okay. Yeah, would have been a great engulfing candle here. We would have had that candle closure below. Missed it by a few pips. It's crazy how these pairs are moving. Alright, let's take a look at EU. He's going to the top side. S&P gave it a little shoulder head shoulder. See if NQ tells us anything differently than US30, but now it's very similar to even what S&P is doing, a little shoulder head shoulder. Right, if for me to look for shorts, I would need to see a break of these lows. To go high, we would just want to see structure internally. We'll see it. We'll start seeing higher highs and higher lows. Very similar to 30, right? But 30, the only difference is 30 is in a zone of consolidation since the end of the week last week, going into this week, where again price is just trapped between these highs and these lows, right? So taking a trade in the middle of this area really is not the best idea. Again, especially on the daily time frame here on 30. The fact that we're just still sitting at these highs without a valid break is just not. It's really not the best time to take a trade. I would rather wait for price to give us a valid break. Once we get a valid break of these daily highs, again everything is color coordinated. The daily highs is the gray box, 30-minute is the red box, 4-hour highs is the blue box, right? So once we get valid breaks of these highs, like we're just testing these highs. It's just testing candles, no real breaks, right? It's just the market makers trapping traders, right? Making you believe price is gonna go higher, goes down, hits your stop loss, makes you believe price is gonna go down, goes up, hits your stop loss, makes you believe price is gonna continue to go up, and then goes down, hits your stop losses again, and throws exhaustion candles. Like there's too much going on in this area, right? And again, we know why. Like, that's what a zone consolidation is, right? There's always reasons as to why the market, like, look how price is moving in these areas. It's just crazy movements. No, it's not real. There's no real trend. Again, if we compare the charts, if you look at the past 2 weeks, or if you compare the charts to what they're doing now compared to when they were trending, it's completely different. Completely different. And that's why I'm okay with letting these trades just go. Because again, if we just go back to a few months ago, to when price was trending, look at all the trades that we were able to catch. Again, we're talking about when price was trending, not whatever the hell is happening now, right? It's one trade, two trades, right? It's 2 days back to back, right? You go into a few days, right? A few weeks pass, same thing, right? Like when we're trending, and everything makes sense, right? Exhaustion of the highs, no real breaks, right? Continuations to the bottom, same trades, right? Engulfing candles. We're not even getting engulfing candles in these last couple weeks on the charts, right? And then this is when we started moving crazy. And this was already in beginning of April, end of March going into April. I was already like, yo, what the fuck are we trading? Right? Zones of consolidation that are just, we've been in the zone of consolidation where prices rejecting lows. Like, look, rejecting lows, rejecting highs, rejecting lows, rejecting highs. Then we're just in the middle of the zone. Right? In the middle of the zone, that's where everybody was just getting trapped at. Right? Getting trapped the entire time. So again, and we've been talking about this on stream for the last couple of weeks too. So it's not like we don't see it. It's not like we haven't talked about it. Nah, like I'm waiting for price to trend. I'm waiting for price to clean up. Once we start cleaning up, I'll start taking these trades again. Very similar to gold, guys. Right, and this is another, that was a good question that we had a few nights ago. Like, yo, why am I not anxious to get into trades, right? On top of the fact that we're not just looking at one pair. What's good, Mr. Bashir? Right, we're looking at 14 different pairs on our list, right? Because if one pair doesn't look good, we'll go and we'll look for entries somewhere else, right? But the biggest reason as to why I'm not nervous or anxious or in a rush to get into a trade is you guys just seen the trades on US 30. Like, I'm okay. And that's the goal with trading. Like, that's the goal that I always wanted to get to. It's, yo, how can I get to a place where I'm okay if I take one trade? One trade is going to pay me out for X amount of months, right? Which is good. It's always good to have that cushioning. But at the end of the day, too, it is boring, right? You don't want to just be sitting here not taking trades for days and days and days, right? Even if it's small trades, like those small trades that I be catching, I don't even consider them real trades. They're just there to grow the account little by little by little, right? Like this is the last gold trade, which was March. Just crazy. I haven't taken another gold trade since March. I think so. I think March was the last trade I took on gold. Oh, no, there's a small trade here. This was in April. I think that was it, yeah. So, again, right now for gold already hit STP, so there's nothing left. Bitcoin, we could see how it's still in this area, right? We're still respecting the engulfing candle, but we could see that price is very close to hitting that stop loss if he took this trade here. Or very close to going back down. And again, we already knew that. We already seen that happen before it even started happening. But that's pretty much it. I just kind of wanted to wait till 9:30 so we could look at the charts again, see if there's any trades. But no, guys, there's really nothing new. So, any other questions? Oh man, anything else you guys want me to go over? Anything you guys want me to talk about? Any entries you want me to talk about? Anything at all? Just let me know. If not, then yeah, that's pretty much it for today, and we'll be back again tonight for the isolation session. The isolation session tonight. Remember, tomorrow's WAP Wednesdays, man. We start doing the streams on WAP tomorrow. So if you're not part of the membership, then you just won't be able to see tomorrow's streams. So back on YouTube, we'll be back on YouTube Thursday night for Thursday's isolation session, and then we'll have Friday's trading session as well here on YouTube. But again, the streams that we do here are free on YouTube. If you want to join the Discord is free, right? We'll always post the charts, our watch list, and everything in there. The only thing you don't have access to, if you're not part of the membership, you won't have access to the live streams that are done on WAP, and you won't have access to the one-on-one sessions or anything else that we do with the community. But you guys could always join. You guys could always join the Discord. Nasdaq current 30-minute candle. Um, yeah, again, I'm not really interested. They're all trading in the same area. All the indexes, S&P, US 30, NAS 100. They're all trading in the same area. We're just still sitting at these highs in the zone of consolidation. That's what I was looking at here on NAS, right? Like in order for us to look for valid buys, we either need to see the inducement of these lows, right? Or we'll need to see price break these highs, right? Because there's a little shoulder, head, shoulder. So in order for us to get those valid breaks, we need a break of these highs. And they're sitting in the same area. Again, all the indexes move the exact same way, right? So, yeah, before I even look for trades going long, I need to see valid break of the highs. This is the only way I'll take trades going back up. But we could see, like, even for US 30, this looks like it could have, well, we still got 20 minutes left, so could be a potential 30-minute engulfing candle on US 30. Same thing for S&P, right? Only thing with S&P is it doesn't have a wick at the bottom of the green candle, so this is not a valid engulfing candle unless we print a green candle. And then for NAS, same thing. Looks like it wants to give us a valid engulfing, right? This would be good. Red, red, green. Second red candle closed below the first. Green candle, which is the engulfing. We have a bottom wick and a top wick, so we got 17 minutes for price to close and give us something. But again, this is not a high probability area for me to take a trade, so that's pretty much it for me. I'm not gonna be trading for the day. Again, any questions? I'll give you guys a minute in the chat. Anything you want me to explain, anything you want me to talk about, let me know. No questions in the chat. Got a few more seconds. Looks like everything is good. Nothing much. Thanks. Alright, Mr. Bashir. No problem, my brother. Alright, we'll be back again tonight for the members of the WAP for our isolation session, and then we'll be back tomorrow morning. So, see you guys tomorrow. Peace out.